Did the president say it? Just kidding.
Hello, Austin, Texas. You're listening to the Home Team with Troy and Wyatt, where we bring sports and money together for your education and entertainment. If you have any questions about anything we say today, please reach out to me at loansfromtroy.com or give me a call at 855-299-HOME. And as always, you can reach out to the Wyatt on the Facebook.
The Facebook.
And that is the Home Team 512. And this segment is brought to you by Security National Mortgage, where we turn houses into homes by financing your American dream.
That's right, yours.
Yeah, and before we get started, I just kind of wanted to go back over what we just did.
Yeah.
Which was we had an amazing experience as far as my understanding of what's going on in the home building world by having Derek Kieth. And it's funny, isn't I before E except after C? But with K, it's Keith, but it makes no sense to me.
There you go.
I've never understood that. I've never understood the Keith
You just
name.
hurt my brain. I'm trying to figure out where that just hurt my brain a little bit.
It doesn't fit to the one rule I remember from grade school.
Well, it
That was one of the
follows
most
the Scottish, rules.
Oh, okay.
Which have none, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which have none.
Because they spelled it when they were drinking a lot of
Yes,
gotcha.
right.
Okay.
That's right. That makes more
Guinness.
sense
Gotcha. Okay.
This makes more sense.
Yeah, so Derek Kieth, of course, with Stature Homes, and the best way to get a hold of him is 512-797-2121 or staturebuilt.com.
That's right.
And we're lucky to have him because he stays busy. So
I know.
Thank you for gracing us today and giving us a little bit of your information.
Thanks for the
Appreciate
invite.
it. Yeah.
Well, and just kind of understanding too what's going on with inventory, because everybody's like, why aren't they building homes? I mean, go out and make an offer and they'll build you a home, but they're not going to build you a home right now with the cost of funds. It's just the cost of funds are too high.
And real quick, how's supplies and materials right now? Cost out? Is it kind of averaging out a little bit, or?
On some things, yes. On lumber, it's definitely a lot lower than it was.
Okay, good.
Electrical,
so.
electrical is
So
still high.
it's not $1,000 for a sheet of plywood anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay,
I
good.
mean, it's
Goodness
still
gracious.
more than it was.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
But
Which is tough.
When you say electrical, is it are you talking about parts or electricians themselves?
no, well, I mean, all the labor went up for sure, and it hasn't. I don't think it's going to go.
Well, that's the thing about labor. They usually I can make
Like
this.
what's-
I'm not going back down. Are you crazy?
Once there's a chance to all elevate that, they kind of it holds.
Yeah.
Even no matter what.
Rising water lifts all boats, and so
Right.
That's right. I'm
and
not,
you,
but,
we gotta, yeah.
but then again, they do deserve it. And now the price point's up, and now people will pay it, and we're good.
Yeah, I mean, in this, it's funny because, we're going into, money section right now. And so one of the things that's funny is that people are all talking about recession. And I still think that's going to happen, but I think this is going to be the first recession where everyone has a job. I think everyone, they're going to stop paying the wages they paid a couple years ago. They're going to lay somebody off. Well, there's another job. It's just they're going to make less money.
Yeah.
So, they're going to have to go get a job. Instead of making $60,000 a year, they're going to make $50,000 a year. And it's going to push us into a recession. That's what I feel is going to happen. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I do feel that we're going to have this fully employed recession, and people are going to be very confused by it.
Well, I think the tech sector could be a
Right.
different story.
Well, but I'm saying they're all fine. There's plenty of tech jobs out there. It's just it's just they're not making $115,000 to work 25 hours a week.
I
Now
thought
they're
they
paying,
were cutting jobs.
Well,
Well, they're cutting them, but then they're going to get another job for
I
$60,000.
see.
Something
Yeah.
like that sounds right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, they're just, and I don't want to say that they were overpaid, but I just want to say that the market couldn't bear the cost any longer.
Well, for sure.
That's a polite way of saying that.
That was that was really good. You should be a politician. That
Yeah.
was well said.
That's my next life.
Is it?
Yes.
Really?
Because when I do pass away, and if I do come back, which means I didn't fulfill everything, I'm gonna come back as a politician. That's what I didn't fulfill. Yeah.
I got some recordings here, some old podcasts. I don't know. I can.
Well,
hold
I'll have a
against
new
you.
name
I
then,
can
so
hold
all of
against
this
you.
will be.
I can hold them against
yes,
you.
remember, this is my next life.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
You
That's
can't.
right. This one's too late. You
Look,
have to give up on the dream this life.
Yes, you can give me
Okay.
grief about my Twitter response 5 years ago, but not the Twitter response from my previous life.
That
when
makes
it
sense.
was a whole other person.
It
Doesn't
wasn't called,
count.
I don't think
Well,
it was
there
called.
might be an app for that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Good point.
Well,
Good
in your
point.
past night, it wasn't Twitter. It was bitter.
Right.
Oh.
Yes. No, that's my future life.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
is. Okay, so.
So,
I digress.
big things are happening because cost of funds, very important. Right now, it has slowed. The government's response to inflation is to slow growth. I mean, that's inflation is overgrowing too fast, and so
Well, people haven't stopped spending.
No.
For some reason, throughout all this, I have to be honest, I haven't either. I'm
What-
trying to.
You want to know why? And so, shout out to, and this is my own fault because I say parents, it's their responsibility to teach their kids about money. My 25-year-old was, and we're going over finances and stuff like that. And so I'm like, hey, you didn't pay this credit card off. You put money in savings. Like, yeah. I go, but why didn't you pay the credit card off instead of put the money in savings? Well, because I need savings. And I'm like, well, do you have 3 months supply of savings? Yes, I have 3 months of savings. Well, then why didn't you pay the credit card off? Well, why should I? Well, what's the interest rate? Well, I don't know. Let's look it up. So we're on his phone. Let's look it up. Well, he goes, well, where is that? I go, they make it really hard to find, but keep looking. It's 24.99%. Yeah. I mean, you left $150 on there, but it's going to cost you $17 to leave it there. I'm paying it off right now. I'm like, people don't understand. And that's so.
So you're saying you failed as a parent? You didn't know that before.
He knows it now.
Is that what you just said?
Almost failed.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
he's way too old not to know that.
Well,
I'm just kidding,
we
Troy.
say that, but
No, I know
but-
you're good with him, but and
but
again,
it shows that I actually have
Totally
spent
playing.
time and energy teaching him about money.
the
and
fact
he
that you
still
circled
had
back
no
around
idea.
and did it was awesome because we hear as youngsters obviously that you got to do this and do that and then all of a sudden when we're in our 30s and we're like our credit score is horrible, what happened?
Yeah.
It's because you didn't follow through with it, right? I mean, it happens, right?
Life is a bell curve, right?
No.
And so
your kid's lucky to have you.
in your 20s, you get credit and you mess it up. In your 30s, you spend the whole time trying to fix it. In your 40s, you realize, oh my God, I don't have much time till retirement. In the
Right.
50s, you get to work on retiring. That's just the bell curve, right?
That's right.
That's where everybody's at. And
Right.
so hopefully by listening to this show that there will be less of them in that big bell
And
curve.
then they're going to. Are you going to tell your kids go look at your credit cards or look at their?
Yeah.
Just ask them. I guess you can't go look at their credit
Yeah.
cards, but
Yeah.
What are you putting your money towards?
Right, and he's just thinking, well, I put money in savings. That's a win. Well,
So-
no, you left that money. It literally cost you 21% in interest to save that money, and that was no good.
Well, earlier you were saying, hey, we're at 2.7 months in inventory, and if we went down to the low 5s or medium 5s, we can just go ahead and kiss inventory.
Gone.
What does that look like? Is there a chance that's coming? What are you seeing? What's the forecast?
So-
What's your thoughts on that?
So yes, and it's we're on a very thin thread right now, and the economy can go either way, and so the Fed just raised the rates, so now there's talking about getting it to 5.25 as the base rate, right? So right now we're at 4.75, so that's 2 more raises at a 25 basis point hit each time, right? Which in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot because as you can see, like you said, like my 25-year-old, his credit card is at 24.99. They can't raise it any higher. It's against state law, right? So the credit cards and stuff like that are at the max. What it affects next is the big ticket purchases. So if you're going to go buy furniture, appliances, cars, those things will get hit. And though you understand, we don't think about it, but buying a car employs a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, from the sales, the make ready, the accounting, and the dealership, and the delivery, the trains, the factory, the mining, all of that. So buying one car employs a lot of people. So when you affect those sort of numbers, and then you start affecting appliances, again, a lot of people it employs a lot of jobs down the line.
Factory.
You go from the department store,
Sure.
back all the way to the
materials.
the
to actually
raw
make it.
materials from the
Right.
ground. That's
Sure.
how many jobs are employed for that sort of thing. So that's the next step. Once they hit the next raise, they're going to, and it's already slowing. So the thing is like when you have a water faucet, think of it as it's flowing. You can turn it a lot and it keeps flowing. Then all of a sudden you get towards the end and you just turn it a little bit and it shuts completely off. We're kind of at that point where water's coming out, but we're just a twist or two away from shutting it all off. And so do we do both the next 2 times? Do we hit it both 25 and 25 and we shut the whole economy off?
I like that analogy, by the way.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. And they
Good
had,
analogy.
it's like when you come into your room and you got water all over the floor, you hurry to turn the water off, right? But
Yeah.
you're turning it a bunch the first, 5 or 6 turns and nothing happens. Then all of a
Right.
sudden you get whack, and it's off, right?
It's off.
And that's what the Fed just did to the economy. I mean, they looked up and there was inflation all over the place. I mean, everything.
happened?
And like, oh my God, it's not transitory, and so they just started as fast as they could turn it up. They turned that water off. They turned it off, and now they know they're at the very edge, and so they're trying to decide. And so we had a CPI that came in at 6.4. That's core consumer producer index, which is the core inflation for what you and I see at the store, right? And it's a year-over-year number, right? And it went from 6.5 last month to 6.4 this month, so which is good. But everybody was expecting it to be 6.2. So then now all of a sudden it's bad because it didn't meet expectations. The month to month is what nobody's talking about, and that was 0.4, and that's a big number. So from December to January, inflation went up 0.4%.
And what does that mean in the scheme of things? Like $200,000 house, how much more of a payment?
I mean, well,
Or $400,000
it's
house.
more. That's more of what you're paying at the grocery store. So
Okay.
so now your $1,000 of groceries cost you $1,040.
So I apologize. So, but your the mortgage rate did not go up.
Mortgage rate is
I know
all
I
over
know-
the place.
I know they go separate,
Yeah.
but
It's
they've
all
been
over
kind
the
of
place
moving.
right
Okay.
now. It was going down, and then all of a sudden the CPI number came out on Tuesday, and now it's been going up ever since. So
Okay.
it is strictly inflation based, and we thought inflation was under control. Now we don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to circle back around.
Yeah, that was a fast segment, right?
That's pretty good. So right now, going down, it's probably going to come back to 5 in the next year.
Yes,
Or
and
6.
that was your original question. All of the data has suggested by the end of the year will be in the mid fives, and so there's nothing to say that's going to change because it does appear that they're going to have to shut the water off, which will be in April,
Yeah.
and then by June the economy will stall, and then rates will fall sometime August, September,
And then boom.
and then once the rates fall, then the housing's out.
Craziness.
That's what it looks like.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm now recorded as my guesstimation for the
Okay.
next 5
We can
months.
rewind and look at that. I like it.
Wish me luck on that one.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, doing some Twitter comment 20 years ago that nobody likes today. It's
Yeah.
just happened.
Right.
Literally just happened
Right.
right in front of us.
Right.
You've been listening to The Home Team with Troy and White. We hope you've enjoyed what you've heard. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at loans@troy.com. Give me a call at 855-299-HOME. And also, please don't forget to reach out to Derek Kieth at Stature Homes. His number is 512-797-2121. And this segment has been brought to you by Security National Mortgage, where we turn houses into homes by financing your
Your
American dream.
In fact, you're looking at sports right now.